about raising our children with more values and principles, and how that will affect the rest of their life, and how we watch football and basketball and baseball athletes as role models. Johnell McCauley is here, and we're going to be talking about nutrition. And it made me think that maybe one of the components we're also missing is maybe we should raise our children with a healthier diet, which might tie into how their brain starts to work. Johnell, thank you for being here. There's portion distortion. We want our children to eat better. We have supersized them. We want healthy habits. How do we make sure that happens?
Well, it starts with the parents and starts in the family.
As most things do, don't you think?
It does, but I think that we tend to sometimes not take the time. We think that it's going to come naturally. We think everything's going to take care of itself, and it doesn't.
They'll learn to like the vegetables?
And eventually they may learn to like the vegetables, but there's a lot of things that we can do as parents. We can offer them different ways, and it's really important to listen to the children and find out what they like and what they don't like. Sometimes it's the taste, sometimes it's the smell, sometimes it's
texture.
The way it's prepared.
But don't you think the earlier we expose our young people to a healthy diet, the more likely they are to like it and eat it?
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a truth?
But when do you start that, Johnell? I mean, do you start that
in the high chair?
At 1 year old, or I mean, when you start experimenting? If they spit something out, does that mean we don't try again? Or?
You need to try at least 6, 8, 10, 12 times to give them something. A lot of times what we do is we give it once and then we say they don't like it and we move on to something else. But we need to keep doing it over and over again to get them used to it. We need to give the kids options. When you give them vegetables, give them some different things to choose from. Let them make a choice.
But you know, if you start it early enough, Johnell, if you start that early enough with a child, before they even have a concept of liking it or not liking it, then they develop a natural palate and taste for it, don't you think? Am I off base here?
No, they do.
Please tell me.
No. The earlier you expose them to it, you're absolutely right, the more they're likely to do it. But children actually, and I was just reading a study, children are actually more prone and really gravitate towards sweets. Yeah. So the vegetables don't have that sweetness, so it's more of a battle. So a lot of times at the end of the day we're tired, and it's just easier to give them what they want versus what they need.
What about those little goodie snacks that we keep them occupied with, that they're so easy to find now that they can just pop in their mouth? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, or just a keep them quiet thing?
Well, what we're doing is we're getting them used to those sweet flavors. And as adults, if you constantly have sugar and then someone gives you something that's not sweet,
you don't want it.
You don't want it. You want the sugar. So
or salty. We keep that in our diets, don't we?
You know what? I want to ask you, because you will know. I have heard that we are born we're born with a taste for sugar, somewhat, but salt is an acquired taste. But we are born with a desire to have sugar in our taste buds, but salt is an acquired taste.
It is. You acquire it and you get used to more salt, but actually sugar and salt, kids gravitate towards both of those. Those are the two that they more towards the sweetness and the sugar, and a lot of that is because they're growing, and I think it's a natural way for their body to make sure they get what they need.
So we need to quit being lazy as parents, or quit being tired, and actually do that. So it's
just quit working, quit living.
It has to be a structure, though. To your point, we have to structure this and actually discipline ourselves and our children, right? In this direction?
We do, and it's really important that we make it easy. So we have snacks that are easy to grab, that are healthy, not just the ones that the kids want. And when you take the kids to the store, oftentimes we go when we're tired and the kids want the treats, so we give in. And if they're sitting there in the house, it's really hard to say no. The kids are tired, we're tired. So, keep them and put them away where they're not front and center. Keep the things front and center that are really healthy.
I love and I want you to explain this. There are no superheroes or arch villains when it comes to food. What did you mean by that?
What I mean by that is all food is good in moderation. So, and if we don't give ourselves certain things to eat, or we avoid certain things, what's going to happen is we're just going to eat a lot more of them later. Because if you really want it, you need to give into it.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to feel like you're being deprived. And when you can't have something, what's the only
That's
thing you
when you
think
want
about.
it.
That's right. And then you go overboard once you get it.
You do.
I think it's true, though, if we can say that children mirror what they see. So if they watch parents who are eating healthy, that is just another indicator, and that's another
example.
Thank you. Thank you. Just finished my sentence. I am so happy.
We've been together too long.
For children to also eat healthy and eat the foods they see their parents eating.
That's key. If you're telling your children to eat vegetables, but you're only eating,
chips and a beer,
the starches, or you're not eating anything healthy, why would your kids want to eat them? When we grab coffee in the morning and run out the door, but tell our children they need to sit down and eat breakfast, why are they going to do that? So we need to model, you're absolutely right, the behaviors that we want them to follow.
So who's the bad guy in this? Because
supersizers.
There's probably many bad guys, but because nutrition, we were taught that in elementary school. Remember our charts, and we were actually taught that. I don't know that they teach nutrition today in school.
We studied nutrition.
But who are the bad guys in this, or is there a bad guy?
Well, I mean, they teach just a very little bit of nutrition, but the schools get compensated by having vending machines and certain products that the kids see all the time. Kids watch TV, and there's hundreds of opportunities for marketing now. The kids are seeing it and they want it. Their friends have it, so they want it. So I don't know if I'd say that there's a lot of things that influence. I don't think we can say that there's one that's the actual driver of it.
But the combination of all those make us the obese community that we are in today's world.
We do. And if we paid more attention to what we ate and how we ate it, we really could go a long way in just taking care of getting rid of that.
Your company is Nutrition Unmasked?
Yes. Nutrition Unmasked, and they can get more information from us by going to, we've got an easier website, is healthyfamilyfuture.com, and we've got some great information.
Terrific information. Thank you so very much for being with us this morning.
When we come back, critical end-of-life issues. It is a topic that everyone will have to deal with sooner or later. When we come back, Carolyn Brent talking about that.